The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, Andy Brownell on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. It's Saturday morning and we're ready to talk about Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning, Andy.
Welcome to another weekend.
Thanks.
Say, last week when we chatted, we went over a whole bunch of statistics concerning the Rochester area real estate market, and I wanted to note to you that during the week, the statewide Realtors Association came out with the stats for the month of April, and they showed pretty much what we described locally was happening statewide.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that, just based on bigger population in the Twin Cities, they're picking up a little bit faster than we are. But Rochester versus the rest of the southern Minnesota, like the Winonas and Wabashas and Austin, Rochester is bouncing back faster as well.
And that would be expected, I would think, too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was heartening to see that the median sales prices were up statewide. The days on market were very, very healthy and low, and the number of closings were actually higher than they were in April of last year, which was kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah, and I don't typically list properties up in the Twin Cities market. You know, we have so many great agents with RE/MAX Results up there that I would normally just refer a listing if somebody asks me. But this particular listing was a close family friend, and they asked me to do it. You know, dad's in a nursing home, mom's moved into an apartment. They needed to get it sold. They love the house a lot. There's a lot of good fond memories. So they were just really emotional about it and asked me to handle it. So I agreed to, and boy, oh boy, I felt like I was in a normal spring market up there. I mean, we listed the house a week ago Friday, and over the weekend last weekend we had 27 showings, and by Monday we had 8 offers and sold it in multiple offers for well over the asking price. So I was like, oh, this feels good.
Some normalcy.
Yeah,
Any
exactly.
piece of normalcy is good.
I'm like, okay, from now on, when these Twin Cities realtors beat me in their stats, I get it. They just have a whole bunch more clients to deal with.
It's like when you go fishing and you're at the pond and you can just put the line in and they're right there.
Exactly.
So, just anecdotally or even statistically, I know you guys track all sorts of different measures of activity within the market. I'm just getting a general sense out there that we've talked about this before, that things are becoming that stabilized at a new normal. People are kind of getting used to this.
I feel like we're waking up from a long winter's sleep. The market never stopped, right? I mean, whenever anybody would ask me, oh my gosh, it's March, how is this affecting the market? And it's like, I feel like it's a really good January or February market, and I know you've heard me say that a million times, but that's really the best way I can describe it. And now I feel like, okay, it's starting, and maybe the weather plays a part in it, but it feels like it is starting to feel more like a spring market. And we are getting multiple offers on listings, which is awesome. And there are buyers out there that know they have to get there fast because this one could sell quickly. And so those are, like old feelings that are coming back and feel really good.
More evidence of an economic rebound. Well, especially with what's going to be happening next week or when Monday rolls around here.
Although, don't you feel like people have kind of started to move about? I mean, I've really noticed the gas prices alone have been a good indicator. It's like they were really low. A couple of weeks I filled my gas tank up in Lake City for 76 cents a gallon. and then a few more weeks for at least under $1.
Is that right?
And now yeah, because everybody was working from home. Nobody was moving around. I mean, people were taking it really seriously. Remember, we got an A on our state shelter-in report card those first few weeks, right?
Well, the gas never dropped that low here in Rochester.
Not in Rochester. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
But now it's like each week it goes up and up and up. And I'm like, well, that's actually a good sign.
Yeah.
That means more and more people are out and about. And then now the people that I still think people, I mean, I can speak for myself. I know I'll be at home a lot more this summer than I was in any of the past summers, because I think it is smart to continue to stay home when we can and stay safe. But at the same time, we can feel comfortable living our lives and going about business and work. And, we can do some things and have some social life, but it's not going to be all the big gatherings and the big parties. It just really isn't.
No, things, like you say, a new normal.
We may start doing open houses. I don't know. Maybe not right away, but maybe after a few weeks, and see if we get more and more requests for it and more showings. We'll just have to kind of gauge it and see how it goes.
Oh, sure. And also develop a plan that makes it work.
Right, right.
Systematic cleaning and things like that. I actually ran into a news story last week that there's an outfit on the East Coast that's coming up with new compounds that they're going to try to bring to market relatively quickly, that if you spray it on surfaces, countertops, whatever it may be able to keep that clean and disinfected for up to 90 days.
Oh, wow.
Like a virus-killing type.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not here yet, but they're saying in the very near future. So that, those sorts of things will push us further towards normalcy as well.
Yeah. So it's funny, you mentioned statistics, and we've always watched that because we have to, but now I feel like it's all we watch. We're glued to the statistics, so I feel like I'm like a little walking index of statistics. But I think it's great to see that we compare week over week what kind of showings we're getting at our RE/MAX results listings here in Rochester. We wouldn't have any idea the other companies how many showings they get, but at our RE/MAX results listings, this past week in 2019, there were 398 showings. This past week, this year, there were 317 showings. Oh, so, it's, not that bad. And compared to that first week that the governor ordered the shelter in, we are up like 48% from that week. So it's picking up at a pretty decent pace. So I'm thinking that by the end of June, we're going to be pretty much right on pace with where we were this time last year. That, at the end of June. Like July, I think our July is going to look just like it looked last year.
That's exciting news.
It is. And then don't kill me if it's wrong, but I'm pretty sure that our August, our September, our October are even going to be busier than we were last year to make up for the lost time.
Yeah, the pent-up demand that we've been talking about for so long.
You got it. Yeah. And as long as these rates stay so great, that's so helpful. And again, our inventory is so low. That's
the key to it, isn't it? People, I mean, that isn't necessarily anything to do with the pandemic. It might be a little bit, but we've been dealing with that low inventory for years.
Right, exactly. And it was an issue beforehand, but then I think with people then saying, oh, is now the right time? Is anybody going to be out looking? And, do I want people coming through my house? And all of those questions. But at least I think we're definitely seeing that dissipate.
So when you're doing the walkthroughs, the showings, and dealing with the seller, are you detecting also a bit more, I guess, comfortableness from the person of having folks?
Absolutely. Because initially when I was going to listing appointments and I would come in with my mask on, they would say, oh, thank you so much for wearing a mask. I really appreciate that. I say, of course. And they would have their mask on. And yesterday, I was at a listing appointment, and I got there, and I had a mask on, and she greeted me with, you don't have to wear that if you don't want to.
Oh, sorry.
She said, you can if you want to. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I said, no, I'm comfortable wearing it. I have elderly parents, and I go to their house every day, so whatever I can do to cut down any chances of spreading anything, I'm gonna And she was fine with it. She wasn't at all insulted that I wanted to keep it on. But I'm seeing people starting to relax. And I go into the RE/MAX office pretty much daily, and I'm seeing fewer and fewer people coming and going with masks on. Yeah, I still have mine on, but
I still see it in the stores. I mean, I see it as a higher percentage wearing them.
I feel the same. I feel like when I'm at the grocery store or Sam's Club, it's hard to see somebody there without it's rare to see somebody there without a mask on.
And I've heard that, this is off the track a little bit, that if you get outside of Minnesota, that's not necessarily the case, that we're kind of...
Oh, really?
Well, maybe it's because of where we live and the fact that seeing folks with masks on was common in Rochester before this happened.
Right, and we are pretty medical-centric, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We know how to be a little bit more careful, I think.
Conscientious.
Conscientious is a great word.
Responsible. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we have to take a quick break, and we're going to return, talk more about the Rochester real estate market with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results, right here on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Andy Brownell along with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results. We're talking about Rochester real estate, and in our little break we were chatting about how we've all seen some new ways of doing things. And some of it is just an acceleration of a trend that had been going on for probably the past decade because of all the new technology. And I think it's being referred to now as the Zoom meeting, but any one of these teleconferencing sessions that we all deal with now day in and day out, especially in the business world, are starting to be the kind of another normal thing that might continue on despite the pandemic. And you brought up that even in the real estate world, that is kind of the case, not necessarily the on the ground working with the client part of it, but the background stuff where you're working with other realtors.
Yeah, it's been super beneficial to me because I have met, in my years at RE/MAX, I've met a lot of the top producing agents across the country, and those relationships tend to be super beneficial because, as you know, people come to Rochester and people leave Rochester. So we get a lot of requests for, do you know an agent here? Do you know an agent there? Do you know any, so that happens to be an expertise that I can say, oh, I have a great friend, Don Matheson, he's a top producing agent in Scottsdale. He can help you when you get there. Or Karen Landry, if you're moving to Massachusetts, or, even if you're going to Hawaii, I can hook you up with Ray, Mr. Hawaii, or Howard, the King of Florida. I mean, I have some great connections around the country, and typically I would only meet up with these folks, a couple times a year at RE/MAX conferences. Well, because we had to cancel a couple of our meetings, we all decided, well, let's just have a Zoom meeting, get together, talk, and it went so well that we've been doing it on a regular basis every other Thursday evening. And it's awesome because I get to spend so much more time networking with this group and getting to know this group. And I feel like when people say to me, who do you have in, North Carolina, I say, what's the zip code or what's the city? And I can get on that group and say, who do we have there? And somebody will say, oh, Robin, that's where I work. Oh, yeah, that's right. Or so I know somebody, or I've referred a couple people to so-and-so. And it's great because if somebody's asking me for a referral, I don't want to just get on a catalog and pick out a name and a number. They could do that. I want to be able to line them up with an agent that's going to be a rock star.
I can envision a situation using this technology where you could actually do the introductions.
Exactly.
Everybody on a laptop or something.
Right. It's very cool. It's actually really cool. And recently was the annual National Association Realtors meeting. And those are really fun, and they're great because people travel across the country, all get together in the hotel, go to the meetings at the conference center, the speakers, learn so much packed into a, 3-4 days. Well, of course, that's on the long list of cancellations. So this year they did it all online. And you didn't have to travel. You didn't have to leave work. You didn't have to leave home. And you could attend, well, actually not attend, but you know what I mean, virtually attend and listen to the speakers. And there was just a whole bunch of really great topics discussed. And it was great to just be able to turn it on when you're available or in the car driving or whatever. And it was available for any single agent that belongs to the National Association of Realtors. So I think hugely beneficial to the people who don't normally attend those meetings.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. You probably had a lot more participation than you would have otherwise.
Which might make people realize, oh, wow, if I get the opportunity to attend these in the future, I definitely want to, because that really was a lot of good information. But you didn't get a Journey concert, did you? No concert. But there are a lot of those online, too, and aren't they fun to watch? Oh, you're right. There are some weird advantages to this and some weird thought of opportunities as well for those sort of gatherings. It'd be interesting to see how many of them continue on when we finally get past the pandemic. Actually, that's a good point, because with this group of realtors that are my friends from all over the country, I know that we'll continue this because we've become super connected and we want to stay super connected. So I know that this is something that definitely will continue. So what kind of things do you chat about when you do these? So we talk about, what we started with is, what the different rules were in the different markets, because, some people were allowed to, like here in Minnesota, we were considered essential. We were allowed to take people into homes, but that wasn't the case in all the states. And so some people had to 100% do everything remotely, no showings whatsoever. And then we talk about, how does it affect the closings? Because some states actually closed down the closings for a while. So literally they couldn't sell real estate. Isn't that crazy? I mean, none. Yeah. So we've been very, very blessed. And then we just talk about, we're all talking each week about how fast our markets are rebounding. And so not only do I feel good about what I see on the statistics locally and what I'm feeling, but what I hear from all of these other top producing agents around the country. And it's like we're all seeing everything move in the right direction. So it makes me feel really confident and really good. That makes me feel good as well. When you see people who are on the ground dealing with a key sector of the economy and reporting positive news, that should give everybody a bit of a boost. Yeah, I actually talked to somebody yesterday and said, I thought I was going to be furloughed all summer, and I'm already called back the end of May, and that was at Mayo. So I'm like, that's awesome. Because, as I've said many times, when Mayo looks normal, that's when our real estate market is going to look normal. Well, the Mayo Clinic part of it, of course, is such a key to the entire economy and the entire region. And you look at downtown Rochester, and for a period of weeks, it was eerie. Yes. Now it's beginning. Yeah. The traffic's back. Yeah, it is. It is. And it's never been so welcomed. It's like, yay, there's cars everywhere. You have to hunt for a parking spot. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. It is funny. It's all in the eyes of the beholder. Yeah, that's there's no doubt about it. All right, we're going to take a break, and we will continue with our discussions with Robin Gwaltney with Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX results in just a moment on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Welcome back to Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group, RE/MAX Results, and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning, Andy Brownell back with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM. Boy, if it was a normal time, I can't imagine how busy you would be right now, considering how low the interest rates are.
Isn't that? I know the lenders with the refinances have been crazy. And I actually talked to one appraiser, and he told me he had 200 requests for appraisals on his desk.
Wow.
Yeah. So people are smart because these interest rates are, I mean, we've kind of come to the, I don't know, the state of mind where we think, oh, the rates are low now, the rates are great now, and almost are taking it for granted. Because I don't think people understand just how much difference that interest rate makes to a payment. When those rates start creeping up, those payments start creeping up in a pretty quick hurry. So I feel like people really have to realize this isn't going to last forever. I mean, it isn't. And I'm not trying to be gloom and doom because, gosh, I wish it would last forever. It would make my job really awesome. If forever and ever we were going to have 3% interest rates, it'd be like, oh, piece of cake. But eventually they are going to have to start going up. And I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know when that is. And I don't foresee it being any time in the near future. I mean, I think we're going to have an entire summer of buying season with great interest rates. Who knows? Maybe even we might even see a little bit of a dip because I've seen some people locking in under 3%. For the majority, it's been slightly over 3%, but I think that we're going to see a little bit of under 3% again. And then I think it's going to hover right around this 3%, maybe 3.25% all summer long. That's everything I've read and heard.
Wow.
And again, nobody has any way of knowing that for sure, I guess. But history, they just go on the statistics like we've all been doing, saying based on what we're seeing and what we've seen in the past, this is what we expect.
And for folks who haven't been around as long as I have, I know they may not have an understanding of just how low that is and how crazy that
exactly.
The ability to borrow money for 30 years at 3% interest.
It's like free money. I mean, we were talking a little while ago about the gas prices, and it's so sad because I'm like, oh, shoot. I needed gas yesterday, and the gas is back up to $1.79. And I'm like, $1.79? I remember when it was $4 a gallon, and I would have been thrilled if it was $1.79. Yeah. So how quickly we forget.
On the interest rate side of it as well, the equation of that, I imagine that that may be driving some of the demand out there that's keeping the days on market low and the medium price high. And if you're a person who's on the fence whether or not to sell, that's got to kind of be part of the equation, I think.
If you have any notion whatsoever that you might want to sell your house, please, please, please call me now because we need houses to sell. We've got buyers. We've got lots of buyers who need to buy houses, and the inventory is just low. Now, I probably have clients who have their $500,000 house on the market saying, why are you saying this? My house isn't sold. So again, I'm going to be honest, that $200,000 up to $350,000 is the hot market.
Okay,
like it always is. Yes, exactly, Andy. Like it always is. But because those rates are low, I do believe this summer and this fall, some of those people who've been sitting on the fence about is now a time to upgrade to my $500,000 house or my forever house or whatever it is. And I think they're going to realize, yeah, it is. Things are looking back to normal. We finally got, hopefully, this fall we can say we finally have a vaccine and we can stop focusing every minute on the coronavirus and we can get back to life like we once knew it, or at least some form of that. And people are going to say, now it's time to do that move because they're smart and they realize that these interest rates can't stay like this forever.
Yeah,
as much as we would like it to.
If the overall economy goes way back up, that will be what drives the interest rates up as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's going to happen. And let's face it, we all hope that that's what's going to happen in the end. I mean, the whole big picture is we all want a strong economy. We all want a strong country. We all want to be healthy in every aspect of the word. So truth be told, it's just a matter of time and those interest rates will be on the rise.
And you pointed out, that unity thing, the one thing that I think hopefully we'll all take away from this experience is that They're good, really good people out there.
Yeah.
And
yes.
we all do. If you look at the things that have occurred and the acts of kindness that have occurred, it's been pretty heartening to be a witness to this as well.
What's so crazy is, we stay in touch with our friends and we talk to them on the phone and we maybe even FaceTime with them. But it's like, don't you just have a huge urge to just be together with your friends? Because I know I do.
Yes, it's it's that part of it, that social aspect of being able to talk about the things we all want to share with each other, the moments in our lives, and baseball.
Baseball, yes, exactly. I actually got a email from the Twins this past week saying, let's see if we can get you some tickets to a game. And I'm thinking, because they'll send you those things if you've ever gone with a group or, you've done the group sales, and then they try to push it and I haven't heard a word. And now I've got the email. So I'm like, ooh, this is a good sign. It's like it's almost like watching buds come back on the trees or flowers bloom. It's like new life. It feels pretty awesome.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. We have to run, Robin, but first we want to get you out there. So if people have been listening, and especially if you are thinking about selling your home, if you want to buy a home, whatever it may be, how do they get a hold of Robin Gwaltney?
Yes, I would love to help. So we're here. We have a huge team. We can help you get your house sold. We can help you buy a house. Give me a call on my cell phone. My phone number is 507-259-4926, or visit our website at gwaltneygroup.com.
Very good. Thanks, Robin. And until next week, we'll talk to you again.
All right. Sounds great.
Robin,
all right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.